right now. Now it says air hangout on air is live.
Okay, go up to the very top of the screen with your mouse and click the little camera button.
Yeah, I did, and I gave it permission.
No, you're turning it off now. You're turning it off on yours so it doesn't video you.
Okay, it says
Click it until it turns red.
it's got live on there and it's red. Oh wait.
The camera at the very top. You scroll your mouse up and a little box pops up and you see the camera and a microphone.
It just said continue allowing Hangouts to access it. And then it's got always block camera and microphone access. Which one do I click now? Block it?
Huh?
Do I click block it?
No, because you're not blocking the camera. You're on the Hangout screen, right? And you see like in the center like your channel logo like flashing. Right?
No, not yet.
Okay, you gotta get into Hangout. You have to start it.
Well, it says it started. It says it has started.
So it says you're live and
yeah.
there's a red button at the bottom?
Yeah.
So on that screen, if you scroll up, a box will pop up. The camera's not red.
I don't know. I got tape over it. It off. No, it's not doing anything that I can tell.
No, I'm asking you on your screen the setting. That's what I'm asking about.
According to what it says, I gave it permission. Sorry.
Okay, it's not what I'm asking. I'm saying it looks like it's dark, so hold on a second. Let me see. Because I should be hearing you too.
It says I'm live. Wait a minute, I got the microphone off. No, I don't.
Hang on. Yeah. You're live and they're hearing me on the phone.
Now, how do I get back to where I can see everybody?
Okay, you have to go back to hold on, let me get away from I'm hearing the echo.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm there and Raymond's in here. Yay. Okay, I'll let you go. I think we're good now. Thanks, honey. I love you, Kat. See you there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome, everybody. Boy, have I got a delay. Thanks, Revens. Going nuts. It was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Now y'all get a southern accent, huh? Oh boy. How you guys doing tonight? Cat, I need to know how to pull up a web page or something. How do I bring up a web page on my screen? Johnny, can I have a little piece of tape, please, to put on my camera? I have a little piece to put on my camera, so I'm on a live. I've got a live stream going. Thank you. Because I tape today for this. Guys, I'd like to share something with you that my pastor shared with me, and I really thought it was cute, so I hope you like it. What the stands for, and I will type this as well because I'm lagging big time. Okay, Bible. B for basic, I for instruction, B before, L leaving, and E the earth. Now, that I got a big kick out of that because I thought that was awesome. So I thought we'd maybe talk about that for a second because when you think about it, when you do go into a Bible and read, there is a lot of basic information in there in the Bible pertaining to what's happening today. So, but anyway, like I said, when you read it, it's basic information because the Bible is the Word, and there's a lot of instructions for us there because it tells us things we can do in our daily lives and make us feel better and make us feel closer to our Creator. Also, when you think about it and get to the BLE before we leave Earth, because we all want to grow as much as we can and we all want to learn as much as we can. The neat thing about the Bible, when I was like 4 years old, my grandmother taught me my first Bible verse. Uh, it was in Psalms. It was Psalms 100. Starts out, make a joyful noise into the world, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and so on. I'm not going to give you the whole thing because if you're interested, please read it before you go to bed tonight. It's an awesome, awesome uh, thing in the Bible. Psalms is the easiest book, in my opinion, in the Bible to read because it tells stories. It's almost like poetry. Good prayers in there, a lot of good information. Another good thing that I really like, and I hope I didn't just go out again. It's storming terribly here now. I haven't touched the camera. I don't know what it's doing. There we go. It's back up. Went away again. Oh boy. What everybody needs to realize, whether you are a Christian or not, which I love you no matter what, um, but no matter what you need to realize is that being a spiritual person who believes in angels, different gifts and things, it's also a very um, thing because it all ties in together. I mean, there were prophets in the Bible, there were angels in the Bible, and like me, I'll just tell you a little bit. A lot of you don't know about me. When I was younger, I was told that I was psychic. And I did have a lot of visions, and I still do at times. And it was a confusing time in my life because I wasn't being able to go to church at the time or things. I've always um, I've always kept my faith in God, and God has never let me down, never. But like when I would see an airplane going to crash and maybe see up, I wouldn't be told when the plane was going to crash or when or what, and it was very, very stressful. Um, the worst thing that ever happened to me in Florida, there was a little girl up in northern Florida that, and I was at work at the time, and her picture was on the front page of the paper. She jumped out at me and she says, "Help me." I it just flabbergasted me. I started crying. I had to go home from work because it upset me so bad. Um, then I saw what happened to her. I went home and I told my husband at the time, and he said, "You need to call the sheriff's department and tell them what you saw." I ended up doing that, and of course they laughed. Oh, another psychic. Well, that confused me because I knew I was being told this for a reason. But when I mentioned that he had a tattoo and I described the tattoo, they shut up and said, "Us that information." So then they started listening to what I had to say because I saw the van and everything that he had grabbed her and put her in. He took her up this old dirt road. And everything I told him was true. Or or unfortunately, I moved at the time and never got to find out if they caught the man. I prayed to God at that time. I said, "Please don't do this to me, Lord, because I can't take it if I can't do anything to help someone." And I didn't realize that that was God's way of giving me things that He thought I needed to know so that I could help people. I understand that a lot better now because I feel that I'm a better Christian today than I was back then. But anyway, I want you all to know right away, I'm not pushing religion on any of you, all of you, and I accept each and every one of you as you are, for who you are. I respect your beliefs, and I respect, even if you say you aren't a Christian. But that doesn't mean that I won't pray for you daily, because I pray for all of my friends daily. I want you all to have good lives, and I want God to bless you. You to have things that you want in life, that He can heal you if you're sick. Been healed many times in my life. I'm not supposed to be walking today, and I walk every day. I can't walk a long time. I can't walk long distances, and some days it hurts really bad to walk. And what you need to do is to realize that you can be spiritual. You can even do your out of your body things. You can do your whatever things, but always know Creator, what we call Him, God, the Creator, the man upstairs, um, whatever. Just always remember that there was someone up there greater than all of us that made everything we see today. You or I, how spiritual we are, we could not create a world or a universe. You can't do it. And create the beauty in the earth. And it saddens me very deeply done to the earth. We've destroyed the beauty. On my local news today, there was a little bear running around in Columbia, South Carolina, because he had run. They said he was looking for a home. Poor little thing was skinny, and I'm like, the poor little bear they're running out of places to go, and that's sad. You all, and I respect everything about you. And you know, the one thing that I'm so thankful for is that God all individuals, so that we do have a mind to think what we want to think, to think for ourselves, to make decisions, to make choices, to do whatever we see fit to do. We won't always agree on everything. Not everyone, no one will ever agree. Thing that makes Kat and I special, when we first met, we knew each other from somewhere, another time, another life, whatever. It was an instant connection. I truly believe she's my sister. Well, I know she is, and um, but yet enjoy going in her channel because she can cover the other aspects of spirituality. Respects me for my beliefs, for her beliefs, and it goes that across the board with all of you. And same way with my brother Raymond. He's my brother, and I know it. I really do. And I love all of you. I love every single one. Oh yeah, Cat. But you heard your name. But I thought you might get a kick out of hearing what the preacher said about the Bible. Basic questions before leaving the earth, and that's cool. But anyway, if you've never read the Bible much, I wouldn't recommend starting out in Revelations because it's very heavy. And believe you me, the things in Revelation is happening now. I mean, it's earthquakes and tornadoes and, everything popping off all over the place. Uh, so if you've never read the Bible, I would recommend you start out possibly in Psalms because look in the entire Bible to understand, and it's got a lot of neat information in there and a lot of good prayers. Galatians be my last until I other. Please feel free to kick in and say anything. I guess I'm rambling. I've never done this before, and I know I sound like Ellie Mae Clampett, but that's my background. But I've always believed in the world. When you meet someone in your lifetime, it was meant to be. I don't care if they end up being your friend for life or if they're just there for a short time. I've had friends that came into my life when I had nothing. I lost everything I owned when we had the 1,000-year flood here in South Carolina. In home back here for 2 years. I left my husband in Florida in 2012 when I caught him in bed with another woman. And he told me, "Why can't she live with us?" And I told him I left. Um, but I had a home up here from a previous marriage where my husband passed away. And my daughter had lived in it for 15 years, and she had just bought a home and moved out of my home. So I came back, and then my home got destroyed, which I don't really know why, but it's what's meant to be will be. And I'm disabled. I don't get Social Security. I don't get welfare. I don't really take that back. I get 16 whole dollars a month to eat on food stamps. Um, you can buy a whole lot for $16 this day and time. Every time I go in the grocery store, everything's gone up. It didn't take but a couple things to add up to $16. But if you use your head, you can survive on it. I did last winter. After I got up here, I lost everything. I had the house. I was literally laying in the bed that night, and I had a king size bed, and the ceiling fell on the opposite side of the bed when it was storming. Welcome, John. I'm so glad you came. And I almost had a heart attack. Roof came down on my bed, but not a piece of it hit me. And I ran out of the house in the middle of the night. I literally ran out of the house, had nowhere to go. I got in my car and sat for a while, and then I ended up coming over to my mother's house. Um, and then I got gypped by a preacher, which I had always thought, well, preachers are good people. Bought a camper with my little annuity home. He brought it out to the land. I had to run the water into the house water, city water here, even though I'm in the country. Somebody cut the stupid cord that you plug into the like if you had a septical outside and wired it into now. But anyway, it gave me electricity. Um, for a week, and my refrigerator stopped working, the toilet stopped working, and I could keep going on and on. In fact, my camper at this time is almost as bad as the house was. I stayed in the mobile home It was a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath mobile home. In it for, gosh, I don't know, probably 6 months after everything started falling in, have any money, and um, then the mold started to build and was running down the walls, and it was fun. Then one night I went to go to the bathroom, and there was three little baby um, there weren't skunks, possums, baby possums sitting behind my toilet. And I just about fell over and I said, I can't do this anymore. And that's when I looked for the little camper, which it is so small you can't turn around in anyway. So at the present time, staying over at my mother's because the house, the camper is in such bad shape. And I'm basically, I guess you would say, I'm homeless because my house is shut. And of course, the good old USA did nothing to help me. It's like, oh, it's a mobile home. You probably had all this damage before then. Uh, so much for FEMA when you really need them. And after after going through all that, well, I had cancer after I had my spinal cord injury. I had thyroid cancer, and I had my thyroid removed and some glands. I couldn't talk over a whisper for almost a year. Excuse me. And I had been basically a singer my whole life, and I played the piano since I was 4 years old, and I used to play music professionally. I've played in Chicago. I've played all over South Carolina. I played all over Florida when I lived down there 35 years, but I lost my singing voice when I lost my thyroid at my heart. And then after the house got destroyed, one day I was walking across the floor, and I don't know how, but I landed on the floor and I broke my right arm. They didn't put it back together again, so I have a nice little hump there in my wrist, which makes it a little bit more difficult to play piano. But I refuse to not let that go away. So I still try to do that, and I do play the piano at church on Sunday night and Wednesday night for the music. Then for those of you who don't know, in the last couple of months, I had gone to the doctor and I kept having fluttering in my chest. And the doctor listened to my heart and he says, I think I need to send you to a heart specialist and let them check you out. So I said, okay, thinking, oh God, here we go. I'm getting deeper in debt all the time. So I went. They did a heart cath 2 days later after they did a EKG and blood work and all the good junk they do. And he said, we need to do a heart cath immediately. And so they did. And I woke up with two heart stents in my heart, um, 9% blockage and a 95% blockage. And the doctor said, you were a walking heart attack. And he says, your blood sugar is way too high. Are you taking your diabetic medicine? And I said, well, you try living on noodles 3 times a day for a whole winter, and you'll have diabetes too, doctor. Because when I only was getting the $16 speed stamp and had no money, pack of noodles for $1. And I literally felt like I was going to turn into a noodles, but I got through the winter fun. But I did. I got through it, and I thank God. And I'm thankful to have the camper, even though it needs lots of work. So before I originally got the spinal cord injury, I played music all my life, but I wasn't fulfilled with that. And I had to do it at the time because my husband at the time was dying, and we had 2 children, and somebody had to bring more than his little workman's comp check in. I think so, Revens. I feel like I'm a direct descendant of Job sometimes. um, I went to school and I became a CNA and I started working in a rest home, and they found I was very good with the Alzheimer's patients and the Alzheimer's unit, and it was such a blessing. Just I can't begin to tell you what a blessing it was. Um, the only part is I hate to lose a patient, and I would know one was probably not going to make it. So I would sit, and they wouldn't let me work overtime. I'd clock out and I'd go back and sit with the dying person. Last thing, in case you didn't know, is your hearing. That's the last thing to go. You can be totally out of it, dying, eat up with cancer or whatever, but they hear hears. And you've got a relative that's dying, and people will tend to say, "Oh, they were such a good person," and blah blah blah. That person is laying there hearing what you're saying, even though maybe. But I would go and I would pray for that person, and I'd say, "Lord, please take the suffering out of this person's life. They've been here a long time because they were all old people, and please take them out of their pain." And I would whisper in the person's ear, "Look, you've had a good life, you've worked hard, and you don't have to work anymore." And I'd tell them, I'd say, "Look, can you see the white light?" I said, "That white light is God. Your family's there waiting for you." And I said, go see God. Go see your family. I said, "Do you see Jesus standing there?" I said, "Go give him a hug and tell him I love him and I'll see him when he's ready for me." A breath and they were gone. And I'd sit there and I'd cry because I hated to see them go, but I was crying for joy to know that they didn't have to suffer anymore. I would go and I would tell the nurse, "Well, they passed now." And then I'd go home and I'd cry a little bit more. The next day, I'd come to work and there'd be a new patient in that bed. And in about a day, I was in love again, and I'd do what I could for them. Uh, Unfortunately, I think Satan didn't, or the devil, or whoever, evil, whatever you want to call it, didn't like that I was doing good because I had spinal cord injury. I had a 90% spinal cord injury, plus I fractured both wrists from the elbow down, and I busted L4 and L5 in my lower back, which has never been fixed, and so I have a lot of pain. Um, like I prayed and I said, "Oh Lord," I said, "I was trying to do good and look what's happened to me." And I never blamed God because I truly believe, and you cannot, if you're not a Christian, that's fine, but just my beliefs is that the harder you try to do good in this world and the more love you put out there, the more evil tries to attack you. I've been attacked most of my life, and it's crazy, but that's the way it is. And I just accept it and I hold on to my faith. And I said, "Lord, I'll come home when you get ready to take me, but I'm going to keep on trucking until you do." But after that, when I got thyroid cancer and I lost my singing voice, I said, "Boy, evil, you're really attacking me now," because that was literally like cutting my arm off. It was something I had done all my life. And that one still hurts. But you know something? I haven't give up. I'm going to sing again. I know I am because I'm in the church playing now, and I can't even sing along with the church when they're singing because I'm scared I will go out of key. But I told my pastor the other night, I said, "One night I'm going to get up here and I'm going to sing a song here." And I said, "God's going to help me do it." And he says, "I believe you." He says, "I know it'll happen. You just keep believing." And nerve up one day and do it. Even if I sing out of 10 keys, I don't care. Hey, when you get my age, you don't care anymore what other people think. You just you take it one day at a time, you know. But I I've had a lot of trouble since I had the heart stents because my blood pressure went up, and I I'm having heart rate going up to 122. I was rushed to the hospital 2 Mondays ago. I went to urgent care because I felt like my chest was going to jump out, or my heart was going to jump out my chest, and they threw me in an ambulance and sent me to the hospital. And stupid hospitals here are just, oh, it's no comparison to what I had in Florida. I had the best doctors down there. They didn't even address my heart. Instead, they did um, oh gosh, a CAT scan on my stomach area, and they said, "Oh, you're fine. You got a little kidney infection, but you're fine." They didn't even address the heart, and that's what I was sent there for. It was really funny. So now I know I'm getting $900 bills in the mail from the ambulance that they forced me to go in, and God only knows what the hospital bill is going to be. But I'm like, hey, if y'all want a house that you can't walk across the room because there's so many holes and the ceilings are down in every room, and I can see the stars in it, or if you want a camper that doesn't work, more power to you. Come and get it. You know, I'll sleep in my car if I have to. But anyway, it's all good. It is. It's all good. I searched for many years since I came back to South Carolina to find a church. Went to lots of churches, and I didn't get to go to church as an adult as much as I wanted to because I the church. And he would just he was a dominator. I'm not glad that he's gone, but married to him. And then my husband, the divorce from now. So hey, if I went to church, there's nobody around to stop me. Again, visiting different churches, look one, because you know a lot of people can be turned off religion right away, because can you hear me? Um, there we go. Can you still hear me, everybody? I think I lost connection for a moment. Yes, me. I'm back. Okay, I think I'm back now. Okay, I think I'm back. I'm not for sure. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? if you can hear me, what I went to say is a lot of people get turned off on churches. Welcome. Thank you for coming. People get turned off on churches just because they happen to walk through the wrong church doors. I'm going to tell you right now, um, churches in the world, and there's bad churches. Um, it breaks my heart, but I know there's going to be a lot of Christians lost that think they're going to heaven just because of the fact that teaching them the right things and that kind of thing. Okay, just a moment. Okay, can you hear me now? And I'm not going to say anything until somebody answers me in the chat because it's no need for me to continue if you aren't hearing what I'm saying. Because my pictures disappeared on my screen, I'm just black. Right, little man with the pitchfork, go away, go away. Thank you, Christy. Um, what I want to say is I worry because so many Christians who are going to church aren't in the right churches because the preachers, and you can go on any of your Christian channels on the internet or on television, like my mother has Dish Network, you will see that they're all saying that a lot of churches absolutely are afraid to teach um, because they've been warned don't teach about Revelation. Um, a lot of them. So anyway, I feel that I didn't want to just come to the first church that I saw, so I visit different churches. And the day I walked into this little bitty country church that I'm going to now, it was like love just slapped me in the face. Never been there. Acted like they knew me all my life. They were so welcoming and so loving, and the pastor there was on fire. And I've been going there ever since. I thought to myself, finally found my home, and one night we were having a little thing, like coffee and cake or something after church, and they have a beautiful piano there, and I had not played for 2 years because of my wrist being broken or my arm, and if I could just sit and try to play this. I said, played in 2 years, and it was a lovely grand piano. And to be honest with you, I had never played a grand piano before, and that's always been a dream of mine. I guess that's vain, but hey, what we all have our little bucket list, right? So I sat down and I started to play the song Amazing Grace. Hadn't played in 2 years. I play by ear, and I got people around the piano singing, and wouldn't let me stop. What else do you know? You know that. And we had the best time that night. And I there for a very short time in the past. Actually, his wife and him, and asked me would I be willing to play the piano at night because his wife plays, but she has an electronic piano and she does most of the singing, and the church follows her singing. And so now we play together, and it's so funny because half the songs they play I've never heard, but I just kind of fall in there, and God just puts my fingers where they're supposed to go. So I guess now that's get out and do the other things that I was doing. Maybe this is one little way that I can give back to the Lord for the things that He's done for me. And enjoy it. It's nothing vain about it or anything like that. So please don't take me the wrong way, but it brings me to be able to make someone smile or to know that they that maybe I did, even if it's just a small thing like playing the piano. Um, a lot of friends in the real world because when you don't have money, you don't get out in the world much. Like you don't get to go out to eat. I can't tell you the last time I saw a movie. Um, I think it was the last Star Trek before the new Star Trek movies came out. Just it, you know, you don't get out, you don't meet people. But now I'm starting to meet what few people there at the church, and good for me. And I think that's one of the reasons I love all of you so much because I get to meet you you every day. Because isn't that what it's all about? It's not what we look like. It's not we are. It's not oh I'm poor. It's the friendship and the loving the concerns when somebody in the chat is having a problem and what can we do to make them feel better or what can um I'm not going to say a name because I don't want to embarrass anyone, but somebody the other day gave me money, so a little bit of money so that I could get some food and stuff, and I wasn't expecting that. It came from left field, and it was just a miracle for me. And you know who you are, and I love you for that, and I thank you for that. In fact, I got my beans and my rice and my I didn't buy not one oodles noodle. I hope I never see a noodle again in my life. But I did try to buy something that would be wholesome, and you can get a lot, for amount of money if you use your head. I will, and I thank you, and you know who you are. Um, but I can't talk crying because I'm not used to people doing nice things for me, and I'm nice to help everybody else, and I'm the one that gets stomped on, if you know how that goes, because people tend to take advantage of me. I try to be good, and I do. I'm far from perfect, but I do try into. I will tell you this: you'll never meet anybody on the internet any more honest than me because I don't and I don't sell you a line of bull. You ask me a question, if I know the answer, I'm going to give it to you. You know, that's just who I am as a person. But I just had to put that out there because I hope that person knows what that meant to me. I'm driving a car that's 20 years old. Well, it's a 96, excuse me, a 21-year-old car. The paint's falling off and the muffler pipe is off, and when it snowed 2 years ago, a tree fell across the top of it and cracked my windshield. So I got a nice little crack. It broke the side um, the side blinker, what you call it, the thing when you gonna turn signal. And they went to open my right car door, handle come off in their hand, and it broke. But the car gets, knock on wood, it gets me where I need to go. And it'll probably be the only car I ever have, and as long as I live. But I'm grateful that I have it. It's a old '96 Toyota Corolla. Looks like hell, excuse my French, but like I said, knock on wood, it gets me where I'm going most of the time, and I'm grateful to have it. Um, one thing I want y'all to know, literally lose everything you had all your life. I'm 60 years old. I had a lot of stuff, okay? You collect a lot of stuff in the 60 years. And when you lose it all, um, it does devastate you. But one good lesson I learned out of that is things are just things. Things that I wish I hadn't lost, like I lost all my personal papers, this, that, and the other, because they got soaked. And, um, everything was so mildewed in the house that the doctors literally told me, don't use any of the food that was in there. Don't use the silverware. Don't use anything because you'll never get it clean enough to use. And broke my heart in that respect because when you start trying to buy other stuff, it don't come near as cheap as it did when I got a lot of that stuff. But I learned that things are just things. If you live in a mansion or you live in a big fine home or you're driving a brand new car or whatever, I'm happy for you because it makes me happy to see other people succeed. Joy to see someone get something. But the thing is what you must remember is when our number's up, and everybody's got a number. We were born to live and we were born to die. And when your number's up, you're not going to take none of that stuff with you. Lose it all like I did, don't worry about it. I learned that if you've got food, import it, even if it is noodles. Um, if you got something to eat with, like I bought paper plates at Dollar Tree or plastic silverware or whatever to get by. The at Dollar Tree is my best friend. If you don't know what that is, everything in the store is $1, and that's my best friend. Believe me, you can get a lot of good stuff there, including food. Um, um, if you ever lose it, know that that's okay. As long as you got food and a bed to lay in, excuse me, whether that bed's a cot or a sleeping blanket, as long as you have somewhere to, and as long as you have, I don't care if you don't have but 5 out me. If you're seeing me, you'll out of this time because were destroyed from my clothes. In fact, my cousin gave me some tops yesterday, which I was very grateful for. And new clothes, people, I'm excited. um, but you know, things to keep yourself clean, be able to get access to water, and have food, and have a home. You're blessed. Believe me, I don't care if you're a Christian or if you're just in the world that don't have any beliefs or whatever. As long as you have those things, and if people and be thankful for them, because believe me, they can just as quickly as you got them. I learned that. It was a wonderful lesson for me because It doesn't take a lot to be happy in the world. It. I'm not saying don't have ambition. I'm not saying don't have dreams. I'm not saying to not put that $5 a week on your paycheck so you can $100 or $200 to take your go away weekend. Um, I think that's great, but just always remember that as long as you have a place to sleep and you have something on your body so that you can go out in the world and not be locked up, you're blessed. You truly are blessed. Like I said, it makes me happy when other people have and did have nice things in my lifetime. Um, I mean, I wasn't rich or anything, but I mean, I was proud of what I had. Um, but the thing is I learned that I can function and I can live and I can go on in life without this. Um, and I've learned that the things that I truly have to have, um, that I understand you go and your daughter, and I thank you so much for coming. And if Kat can show me how to this thing, I'll probably publish the chat. So I had missed the beginning. Would like to listen to it. Your figure I had a little baby learning to crawl with this channel business. Bless you. Thank you. And you go be with your daughter fast. And you enjoy the show and come back again, okay? God bless you. But right now, I have one thing that I'm praying about. The other night at church, that they're going to, most of the people there are going to be going to a weekend thing up in North Carolina somewhere. I have the little paper in front of me right now, but I think it's going to cost them like $100. Like motel rooms that have 4 beds in them, so everybody's going to buck up together, so nobody has the big motel bill and all this stuff. And then you have to buy your meals. And I've never been to anything like a retreat, and they're going to have guest speakers there and stuff about that if it works out for me, that somehow God will find a way for me to that and putting things, and I'll still get to enjoy it through their eyes. Pray for me. I really would like to go. It's left this place in 6 years. After living in Florida, where you could run to the beach and sit and listen to the waves and watch the sunset and this, that, and the other, to come up here in the Midlands of South Carolina and never have money to go to the beach, which we have Myrtle Beach. Um, it's heartbreaking for me sometimes because I love nature. I have this big rock in my front yard and in the edge of my woods that used to sit across the street at my grandmother's where it burned. And I got one of the rocks after the house burned and put it on my property. That was before I ever even had a home here. And I called it my thinking rock. So when I want to go on a trip, I go to my thinking rock and I sit there and I talk to God and I talk to the birds and I talk. Once in a while, you'll see a little, maybe see a squirrel or see a rabbit. Haven't seen any deer yet, but I'm sure they're out there. And so y'all pray for me. If it's meant to be for me to go, I'll go. And if it's not, so be it. Because I feel like if God wants me to get to go on that little trip in September, then he'll make a way for me because I think I have till like the end of August to get the money to them. And I think they require $100 up front or something like that. But anyway, I'm hoping, and because I've always wanted to go to a retreat, I've heard so many Christians talk about it and what a blessing it is, and learn and I happen to think North Carolina is a pretty place too. Anyway, I don't mean to bore y'all with all this stuff, but I do love all of you, and I'm gonna place down now and let y'all chat for as long as you'd like to. If you got any questions, you're welcome to ask me. If I can answer them, I will. I'm just so surprised you all actually came, and I thank you. I love you all so much, my family, and more than you'll ever know. When I go in a chat, see all of you. I just love you, and I know y'all don't understand that. But I love everybody because we're all creatures of the Creator, and so we're so blessed to be born into a country. Things are falling apart right now, but look at the good times that we've had in this country. The people in other countries who are in poverty and I mean, the people down in Haiti are still trying to get over all that happened down there years ago. So we should just be so thankful that God allowed us to be born into a country that we can be free and that we have the right to believe as we want or to pray or to go to church or not go to church or have friends or whatever. We're so blessed. Realize that a lot of people take that for granted. They really do. If I was to ever be rich, I wouldn't be rich for long because I'd be sending money to this one and that place and trying to build homes for somebody else to live in and this, that, and the other because it would make me so happy to do that. And but there's plenty of people out there in the world that can do those things, and unless God wants me to do it, He better be sending me a money tree in my yard that'll grow. Y'all, please have fun. I hope I didn't bore you too much. Um, I really enjoyed being able to talk, and I will answer any questions if anybody has any questions you want to ask me. Like I told you, I'm a book. I don't keep lie. I'm an honest person, and I tell it like it is, and whether it's good or bad, that's because it's not good to be fake in this world. People, you get found out, so why not be an honest person to start with, and why not just go ahead and be you, and you don't be somebody else. Be you. Be yourself. God made you to be, or what your Creator made you to be. Applies a lot of our little that we do good and bad in life comes stems from childhood. I mean, it's all in what you were raised. It's taught you what they didn't teach you, but always be open to learn because, in my opinion, you go to school your whole life. My age, I still learn today. Um, always be open to learn. Always respect other people's opinions, even if it's not something that you agree with, right? Believe or to think as they do. But it's really good when you get a lot of different opinions together and everybody can share and talk and you learn things and you get closer to your friends. It's a good thing, you know? I love. I'm gonna shut up now. I said there, didn't I? But I love you guys, and I'll keep the chat over, but open as long as my internet stays up. We're getting little storms popping in here now, so that's what the trouble was earlier. Um, but I love you, y'all. You're free to talk about anything in this chat room. That's why I put it in the description current affairs. If you want to talk about Planet X, I don't care about, but please respect one another. That's the most thing that means to me is to respect one another. And please respect other people's beliefs. If you're not a Christian, that's fine. People who are. The reason I started this channel is I got tired of going in certain people's channels, and I was tired of going in other people's channels, and people would say, "Oh, it's the end time soon," and boom, they disappear. I'm out. Or we don't talk about religion in this channel. Started praying, cry. I had to leave one night. I got so upset because so many people were being kicked, and it was breaking me. It just broke my heart. And about it, and what can I do about this? Because it's not right. I said I was to be able to be free to have religion, but on YouTube that say, "Oh, I can't say," I'm like, "This is wrong." And spoke to me, and he says, "Open the channel." I said, "What should I name it, Lord?" And it said Safe Sanctuary. And I didn't know the first thing about opening the channel, but it took me a little bit, but I got it open. And this is a place where you can come and you can, if you want to recite Bible verses till the cows come home, or if you want to preach, or if you want to, no sex, no the cursing down to a minimal, no whatever, not the bad stuff, in other words, but I feel like you have a safe sanctuary where you can come. Bill. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop talking now. I said that 10 minutes ago, and so if you haven't me, and I'll be chatting with y'all in the channel. If you're still here, getting tired of it, we can close it out and go back to Kat's channel. He's still here. I couldn't bring up her chat and my chat at the same time, unfortunately. Have fun, okay? God bless you. Bless you too, Giant. Thank you.